Sweet. So you're ready to get started then, yeah?
Yeah, born ready, man.
Welcome to the Shin Pad, the show where we'll be tackling the weekend's biggest talking points and, you know what I mean, maybe giving a few kicks on the shins here and there as well. But yeah, I'm here, the host for today, Abdul, with my two boys, Temi and Will.
So what's up?
And yeah, we'll be talking about everything from last minute goals to dodgy VAR calls, everything in between, all the hustle and bustle. And later on, we'll be getting into our fantasy Premier League teams as well, talking about that, talking about what players we might want to get rid of, what players we might have been right about, players we might have been wrong about. One player I know for sure I was definitely wrong about. But enough of the intro. I think let's get into the football.
Oh,
ready?
Yeah.
Yes. All right, sweet. So we're going to be starting at Liverpool, of course. Liverpool 4, Bournemouth 2. Will, as our resident Liverpool fan, I think you should take the reins here.
Don't mind if I do. I'll be honest with you, this scoreline, for anyone who didn't watch the game, they'll think Liverpool took apart Bournemouth, but
yeah,
it was not that type of game.
Kind of a flattering scoreline, to be honest.
Yes, and I'll say that candidly. For me, I feel like with this game, it was a bit of what Liverpool were like in the last few games of last season when they secured the league.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, it looked like first half FC. Like they'll storm in the lead, but they can't hold leads. And you saw that against Arsenal, 2-0 up, then 2-2. Brighton, I think 1-0 up, then 2-1 up, lose 3-2. Even the game against Chelsea was like 0-0 at halftime, but then Liverpool just put their foot off the gas. Chelsea take over.
Yeah, and it's not something you want to be seeing, especially when you've got a lot of new signings who are in the squad. Talking about Kirkes, Frimpong, Wirtz, Ekitike, who did quite well, to be honest. What did you think about Ekitike's overall performance?
Is exciting, and I'm so happy with Ekitike because I did a video looking at his attributes and his performance with Frankfurt in the Bundesliga, and honestly, he underperforms his XG. That was like the one thing that was making me a bit iffy about him. But I watched the tape. Yeah. This guy is silky. And I literally thought to myself, it was not a coincidence. Newcastle wanted to sign him regardless of what happens with Isak.
Looks like a good player, doesn't he? Very tidy player.
Yes, very clean. What I've seen of him in pre-season was great. Scored a great goal, great bit of composure in the Carabao. Not even the Community Shield final.
Do you know what? It's hard for me to be unbalanced because obviously Arsenal fan here. So I always want to see my enemies fail in it. But I remember I was at the Community Shield game, like live a few weeks ago versus Palace. And that first goal he took, I remember 1-2 and then slots at bottom bins. I said,
yeah. So it was a worrying one, to be fair, because a lot of people were tuning in trying to hate what's that game.
You know what I'm saying?
Failed drastically. But yeah, that was a good kickoff to the Premier League. I think a 6-goal, in my opinion, quite a thrilling game. But unfortunately, it was marred by quite a big talking point. Something that we don't want to be seeing in modern football, especially. But unfortunately, Antoine Semenyo was subject to racist abuse at Anfield. Again, boys, you got any thoughts on that? Anything you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame. It happens time and time again. I'm pretty sure there's a few incidents that happened last season.
Yeah. It's a bit boring to talk about, to be honest, now, isn't it?
And I feel like there's just so many now that I've even forgotten like specific incidents. But there's no place for it in football.
I will say this though, the way that he dealt with it was probably the best way any player can deal with it, and that's with his football on the pitch. At the end of the day, bagging 2 unbelievable finishes. There were 2 high quality finishes as well. Yeah. And I feel like that should have shut up anybody who was looking at it thinking, you know what I mean? I don't know whatever thoughts people might be thinking, but yeah, at the end of the day, there's no room for that in football. Very disappointing. But yeah, we move on to the next game. Aston Villa 0, Newcastle 0. A game where Alexander Isak obviously didn't play, speaking of Liverpool. Alexander Isak didn't play, trying to force his way to Liverpool. And it showed, in my opinion, Newcastle were lacking one thing, and that was goals.
100%.
Did you guys have a look at the game?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it. Bit of a ball fest, I can't lie. especially the first 12:30 kickoff.
We shouldn't spend too much time on this at all.
But I would say one positive I did notice was Elanga had a few chances off the right hand side. I feel like that was a good buy by them. Obviously, you will see in terms of his value. Was it worth 65 million they paid for him?
Yeah, 60 million. Yeah.
Other than that, obviously the window hasn't closed yet. So if they can get a replacement for Isak, then there is potential that they can develop. You've got Anthony Gordon on the left. You still got their strong core.
Yeah.
Tonali, Bruno Guimaraes.
That's the thing, to be fair, for me, the midfield.
Aaron Ramsdale in goal now. You've got
he didn't start though. It was Nick Pope.
But you got
still, they've got the two very decent level goalkeepers. Yeah.
Internationals to rotate.
Same back four as well, as usual. To be fair, all the same 5-6 players that they use in that back four. Solid, experienced. To be honest with you, I was quite impressed with Newcastle. I thought Aston Villa left a lot to be desired in terms of their play. Newcastle looked quite good actually building up. I know you said it was a ball fest, and I agreed. But when I was watching the game, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad actually. Thinking about it now, but. What I did notice glaringly was that Newcastle were missing a focal point up top. Anthony Gordon was playing in the 9, and again left a lot to be desired. To be honest, I felt like him coming off the left when we saw Asula come on later on in the game, who I thought should have come on a lot earlier. They looked a lot more dangerous with Gordon coming off the left, to be honest, and Asula up top with that focal point on the pitch. So let's see what Newcastle can do there. But again, Konsa with a red card. Bit of a silly one if you saw that. Just drag my man down.
No brainer.
He said, "You're not scoring." Dragged him down. But that's enough of that game. We'll go into the other draw actually before we get into the higher scoring games. Brighton 1, Fulham 1. Quite a late equaliser from Fulham, wasn't it?
Yeah, tell me about classic Premier League to give us one of those early into the campaign.
This was not Jimenez, Muniz, Rodrigo Muniz.
Yeah.
A tidy finish, ran to the fans. I don't know.
He was heavily linked with Atalanta, Rodrigo Muniz.
And Leeds as well. I think Leeds might be in for him.
So is he another one of those players who his future's still in doubt before the window closes now? Because we're approaching the last sort of.
And that's probably why he didn't start. Because I feel like he is probably, in my opinion, a bit of a better player and finisher than Jimenez, who was starting ahead of him. I feel like Muniz, when he does get a run on the side, can score goals on a consistent basis.
I don't know. I feel like they're a good 1-2 punch. I feel like where Jimenez can be a bit more clinical. Like I feel like we've seen a few Jimenez goals from last season, one touch finish in those awkward positions. I feel like Muniz offers like a good counterbalance. Where I remember that finish against Chelsea. Went around last season, went around the keeper, knocked it in. Yeah. So, class player.
Always got to mention Chelsea to be fair.
Always.
Okay, swiftly moving on to a team that I hold very dearly to my heart. If people know me, you know that I really do love this team in the northeast of England, Sunderland. And on their return to the Premier League, on their historic, biblical, religious return to the Premier League, 3-0 at home to West Ham, who are established in the Premier League. Wow. Thrilling game. Goals from Maenda, Ballard, and Isidore. Some quality young talent in the team. And I don't know if we were talking about this last week, but I remember saying, look, Sunderland are one of the teams. I know a lot of the people love saying the three that come up, go down, things like that. But Sunderland are one of the teams I feel like have done a lot of good business. We've got a good structure of young players, a good young coach as well. Could possibly do something. Possibly. I'm not getting too carried away with this result. Obviously, West Ham and Graham Potter. Graham Potter's not the greatest coach. I don't believe he's anywhere near a high level coach. But what do you guys think?
I think to your point of them potentially doing something, I would say look at Brentford. All the changes that they've had recently. They've lost their captain, they've lost their manager, they've lost their best player in Brandon Mbeumo. I think there is a chance that one or two Premier League teams might just slip. I might get dragged into that relegation battle. Obviously, I know it's only game week 1, but looking how Sunderland performed, I can't lie.
Look,
they might have something.
That's what you need to say for sure. More than anything, I think, is the performance, because they played fantastically well. It wasn't even just about the result for Sunderland. They played really good, and it was a lot of their core from the Championship as well. We're talking Tri-Hume, we're talking Ballard as well. Daniel Ballard scored a bullet header from the Championship.
Arsenal player,
Yeah,
Sorry?
bro, former Arsenal player. You guys, when did you let him go? Like 7 years ago.
No, maybe.
And to be fair, you know what? It's a good thing he's a former Arsenal player because we know that those tend to do well, don't they? Innit? Yeah. Former Arsenal players always do well. Never current. Yeah.
And the current ones, let's not.
We got to say one thing about that game though. Adingra, his debut for Sunderland.
Yeah, Dingra looked really good. Yeah,
I had to say it. Brighton letting him go.
Yeah.
They do it every now and then, but I feel like, he's going to be one that they regret. And for the fee, just over £20 million.
Yeah.
That's like, because this is someone who, I'm thinking like AFCON was not that long ago, and he was, am I right in saying
stand up?
Yeah, big performance in the final.
Yeah,
I felt like
definitely stand up.
I wouldn't go that far.
I think he was young player of the tournament as well.
Yeah, but obviously they held it in Ivory Coast, so there's politics there. Potentially a bit biased, but
yeah.
Saying that, I will hold my hands up. Obviously, I know a very good performance, but I feel like he was someone when Brighton did let him go. I thought, you know what, they can live with that. He came in the league 2 years ago, hasn't really delivered.
No, but injuries as well. To be fair, he has had a few injuries. Those problems have blighted him. But again, very good young player, and I'm very excited to see what Sunderland do. But moving on from that game, getting into Tottenham 3, Burnley 0. Again, probably one of the scores that you would know was going to come. You know what I mean? Tottenham with Thomas Frank now, and the signings that they've made, Mohamed Kudus, 2 assists. Richarlison looked like a man possessed, which he has been kind of recently as well. He performed really well in that Super Cup final against PSG. So, did Tottenham have something going, or is it just a case of
hell no? Let me just put a reminder that this is Burnley, who will probably get relegated. Yep. So let's just manage expectations. Yeah, I don't really think.
Yeah, I agree.
Spurs are really gonna do anything unless there is potential. They sign Savinho, they sign Eze. I might have to hold my hands up and reassess later down the line. But for now, hell no.
Yeah, I think with Spurs, you do have to say with them, where I will give them credit is I feel like they made the right selection in manager.
100%.
As soon as Ange Postecoglou was sacked, straight away I was like, I don't know if Brentford were in that much of a position of strength. I feel like they've been getting little brother the whole summer, to be honest. But
that is a massive thing as well with Thomas Frank, because I feel like he's one of the brilliant minds of the Premier League in terms of setting up a team defensively and providing the offensive structure. The guy's a top quality coach there, and I feel like Tottenham will definitely be able to benefit from that. But yeah, we'll do a quick one for them. Nobody really likes talking about Tottenham. We'll move on to the next game. Wolves 0, Manchester City 4. And wow, guys, I watched this game and I can tell you one thing. I never doubted Manchester City. I never doubted Pep Guardiola for a second. They had a season off last year. I feel like to give people a bit of a rest from the relentlessness that they've had in recent years, which is the fact of the matter. And they had an aging squad, and they've, in my opinion, rectified large parts of that. It might still need a couple of pieces, but very comprehensive victory over Wolves. I know people say now it's a Wolves side who have lost their best player in Cunha and Ait Nouri and these guys, but not a lot of people had City to do this well, to be honest. A lot of people thought that they'd struggle in their opening games. What did you guys think? City crushed West Ham.
I think Rangers.
West Ham, Wolves, I should say.
Rangers, he is going to be... He's going to compete for one of the signings of the summer. This guy, the 2 years that he's been in Milan, I like to follow Serie A quite closely. Yeah. This guy has been a standout.
Yeah.
You know, I think with Milan, on paper, they have guys who people like to talk about. Rafael Leao, Theo Hernandez just left. You know, and then you've got the likes of Olivier Giroud was holding his own. You know, they got Mike Mignon, I genuinely think is a great goalkeeper. But Tierney Reinders, the step up from the Dutch league to Serie A, the way he's played, genuinely he's been up there with a Nicolo Barella. He's been up there with let's say Scott McTominay had an outstanding season just last season.
And that's the thing. I feel like those profiles. Sorry, go ahead. Finish.
I was thinking if not McTominay, easily could have said Reinders best Serie A midfielder. Yeah, and I see when I got him, I think for a very good fee as well. Didn't have to overpay, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And he's someone who he transforms that team because he provides goals from midfield.
Definitely. And not only goals, to be fair, from what I saw of him when I watched that game, he's an all-action midfielder. The guy gets across the pitch. He's a bit petulant, to be fair. He loves getting into those little one-on-one situations and getting onto the opponent and, you know what I mean, properly getting into players. But he's also got that elegance and the ability to drive from midfield, which not a lot of players have, especially in the Premier League these days where there's a lot of hard structures to break down and just come through. Being able to have a character like that can just drive through the middle of the pitch, that's going to be massive for Man City this season, man. And he's got bundles of talent and energy, to be honest, because he played 80 minutes in his first game up and down the pitch. That's a very serious player. What do you think, Temi?
Yeah, I didn't watch the game, so I can't really give a proper critiqued review, but I would say, knowing about Rangers, I think I first watched them at the Euros like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It was Holland. I can't remember who they played against, but he bagged. And I remember thinking, oh, decent player there. And then it's kind of obviously ironic to see he's come to England now 2 years later. I know I might be jumping the gun a little bit, but I saw loads of people pick him on FPL.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, is this like...
I picked him.
People trying to be a bit woke, like them trendy picks, them trendy players.
Listen,
like, hey,
at 5'5",
you got me.
At 5'5", we'll talk about FPL later.
You got me.
At 5.5 million, he's looking like a bit of a steal. You know what I mean?
So,
but apart from that, we will talk about Erling Braut Haaland as well, because again, another player who people say had a bit of a down season last year with 22 goals in the Premier League, which that shows the incredible standards you're setting for yourself if that's a down season. But the guy looks like a man possessed. Again, somebody who's like properly raring to go, and he dispatched his opportunities. He had a couple early on, that early sires. He got a ball in from, I think it was Bob on the right side, who played fantastically as well, by the way. But got a ball in from Bob. He headed it over the bar, and I was thinking, this is a little bit of a sign of what's going to happen. But nah, this guy, he shakes things off, and he was there to tap in his first goal, and the second finish was first time coming onto that edge of the box, very tidy, under the keeper. Mate, guy's an animal, and I feel like he's gonna score a lot of goals this season. I feel like this might be, again, another season where he hits 35 plus in the Premier League.
Look. I know it's game week 1. He had a bit of a hiatus last season, but at the same time, I feel like we should manage expectations here. Like, I do get it.
We're not here to do that, bro. We're here to make bold statements.
No, I do get, and I'm saying let's retract it a little bit because it's game week 1.
Put your balls on the table. That's what I want to hear.
And I am with this statement. This is Wolves who, they finished 16, 17 last season. They've lost their best player.
Yeah.
I feel like a team like City, the way they play, a player like Haaland, he's always going to get goals. So I think regardless, he could get up to 25 goals this season.
35 plus.
City will still finish 4th. So I think it's just important.
That's what you feel like is going to happen.
I feel like
Fair
it
enough.
because
City's going to finish 4th.
If you look at the squad, they've pretty much made the biggest surgery to it.
Yeah.
KDB's gone. Kyle Walker's gone. John Stones is on his last legs. He can barely keep fit for about 10-15 games.
I think I see the same for Gundogan as well.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't know.
But are those guys part of the core squad? You guys are talking about something different now.
They're not, but at the same time, obviously the new additions they've brought in, they're going to need to adapt. Yeah. So,
well, as we've seen in the first game, these guys are not taking too long to adapt. But I feel like we're stretching this a little bit with Man City. Very good first game. We'll see how they carry on in the next part of the season. But
watching closely.
Yeah. You think City are going to come 4th? I think Haaland top scorer this season.
Easy.
And we'll get there. We'll get there how we get there. But going to the next game, a game that I am not really happy to talk about. I don't really want to talk about at this moment in time, but I have to. Chelsea 0, Crystal Palace 0. And unless you
talk,
listen, let me get to it. Okay.
Talk. I fell for the FPL hype. I fell for it.
Chill.
I'm wildcarded next week.
Chill.
South Pedro, no.
Chill.
No Cole Palmer.
Yes.
What?
Yes,
he has not scored
I learned that last season.
Since January.
What were you thinking? What was you thinking?
I'm hearing crazy slander names for the guy. I'm hearing Cole Palmer.
I rate Cole Palmer so much, man.
Listen, let me tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing about this game. I'll tell you one thing about this game as the Chelsea fan here who watched 90 minutes of it, unfortunately. Palace are extremely well drilled in the way they play.
Right.
And it is a fantastic way of playing that we've seen in the Premier League since Conte's come here, which is the 5-back that everybody loves. 5-back with 2 DMs in front of it. Yeah, extremely hard to break down, and we did ourselves no favors at all, especially in Maresca with how he set the team up. In that we just played in front of them, and if you're gonna have a team like Palace come to your stadium and you just play in front of them, they will take that, soak up that pressure and try and hit you on the counter-attack. And they would have been successful if it wasn't for a somewhat contentious VAR decision that once it was explained, I 100% backed the decision. I think it was totally right for them to completely eradicate that goal because he was 1 meter close to the wall of Chelsea.
The game's gone.
Serious.
Wow.
The game's gone.
You think?
I've not had a moment like this since Alvarez's double
penalty kick. Really?
Penalty gate.
But let me say one thing before we all go crazy. I'll let you guys go ahead. But let me just say one thing. This is a rule that is actually officiated usually, but it never gets to the point where they have to get involved because we don't see what Mark Gurley did to Caicedo, which was bordering sexual harassment. You know what I'm saying? The guy absolutely picked him up, shifted him into his own boys.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Obvious,
he shifted him.
What was he thinking?
He shifted him.
I'm so sorry to say it, but what was he thinking?
I think it's a contact sport, so either Caicedo
I agree with that, but it has to be within the rules of the game. And it was not.
Here we go. I feel like there's a lot of things within the rules of the game that can be black, that could be white, but at the same time, it gets to a point where the referee just has to use common sense.
Yeah.
You got to understand what the game needs, what the game desires. It's like someone getting pushed over. If you put your arm behind a defender, 9 times out of 10 outside the box, it's a foul. If someone does that inside the penalty box, it's a higher threshold. So you're not going to give that as a pen. And then I feel like with that free kick, Eze doing his thing, slaps it. What? Not top right.
No. He just put so much power in it. But unfortunately, it wasn't given, and we couldn't break them down after that. We had numerous chances still after that to break them down. But I was very impressed with Estevao, who came off the bench and provided our only bright spark in the game, in my opinion.
Adam Wharton for Crystal Palace.
Adam Wharton was very solid.
The more I watch him play,
very
the more
solid.
I can see
He is
him.
very class. 100%. Definitely, he's gonna get a move to a bigger side. 100 billion%. But again, slow start. First game of the season. Nobody wins the title in the first game of the season.
That's right.
But let me ask you, what's your opinion now? After that, I know there was, for me anyway, before the season began, I've seen a lot of people buying Chelsea stocks, buying into the hype.
Yeah.
Not to say I did, but I thought, you know what? I've seen a lot of propaganda going around. And my opinion is the Chelsea squad is still a bit too young. They still need a few more seasons, a few more reps together.
Yeah.
Still need a few more world-class players.
Yeah.
But
Pushing your Arsenal agenda on us here.
anyway, no one mentioned Arsenal, but
no, it's true.
But anyway, we'll get to Arsenal. But long story short, has this result kind of changed your opinion of Chelsea's projection, or
it hasn't changed my opinion on our projection.
And what are you projecting?
I think that we should be challenging for the title this year.
Okay.
I think we should be within the top 2
challenging
teams
as
come the end of the
going
season.
to May, or you're talking February,
May.
fall off?
I'm talking we should go to May. With the team that we have, with the quality in the squad that we have, I feel like we should. But the only thing that'll stop us is our tactical setup when we play against these lower blocks. Something has to change. We're not utilising the wide areas enough. We literally just play in front, try and get some balls in from diagonal positions, but we should get in behind the defence, get to the byline and try and get balls in from there, behind them, to make them think that they're under pressure. If you're just playing in front of them the whole time, nobody gives a shit. You know what I mean? Okay. But listen, Chelsea didn't win, but a team that did win, who a lot of people thought might not have had the strongest start to the season. Nottingham Forest 3, Brentford 1. Forest absolutely decimated Brentford, the team that obviously were decimated in the summer anyways. But Christopher Wood. Wow, man. I had that game up on the side and I was probably watching it more than the Chelsea game, to be honest, because of how he was playing. But Forest looked really good. I was particularly impressed with Chris Woody's 2 finishes. Yeah. And Elliot Anderson. Gibbs White, obviously, you know what I mean? Speaks for himself.
Man of the match for me.
Yeah, fantastic.
He's grown into being a special player. And I think with Morgan Gibbs White, what I have to give him so much credit for is he's not played that many seasons at Premier League level. I think by the time Wolves let him go, he had mostly proven himself at Championship level, in my opinion. Yeah. But the step up since joining Forest, I felt like he showed glimpses.
Massive.
Forest, they didn't necessarily have the squad to really thrive in the Premier League. But even the tactical direction was when Santos came in, he's been able to get the best out of a lot of these players. But last season, Morgan Gibbs-White was nominated for Premier League Player of the Season. That's how good he was last season.
He was quality.
He was one of the 8 nominees.
Yeah.
And Christopher Wood, also nominated last season for Premier League Player of the Season. 20 goals.
Yeah. And a lot of people would have thought that might have been a somewhat of a fluke season, one season wonder. But he's proven with those 2 finishes that maybe not. I feel like the first one coming off of the set piece situation drops to him in the box, and he little just straight volley into the corner. And the second one, Elliot Anderson, by the way, brilliant work from him. Gets a loose ball first time, zips it into Chris Wood's pass. Chris Wood takes a fantastic touch, takes it around the goalkeeper, taps it in with the left foot.
Anderson
Game over at that
underrated.
point, to be honest. Pardon?
Anderson underrated. I liked what
very underrated, man. High energy. He's playing in very advanced positions. The guy looks really good, to be honest. I was really impressed with Forest in general, but Brentford, it's going to be a really tough season for them. And I don't know how they're going to be able to replace the goals that they're going to be missing from the two bold brothers.
I would say that on both teams, and kind of linking to your question, I feel like with Forest, I see like the ceiling for them probably potentially a bit higher this season. They've got such a good core with Matt Sells in goal. You've got Murillo centre back along with, is it Milenkovic?
Yeah.
Top defender. In
Brilliant
midfield.
partnership.
Do you know what I mean? In midfield.
And the new signing in Ndoye.
That's what I mean. Ndoye. You've got
looks really good.
Ndoye, you've got McAtee who signed, you've got Amari Hutchinson who just signed as well, along with the players that they've already had. Like that good core that brought them through last season. So on that, I feel like
Pardon me.
they were one of those teams that, people thought one season wonder, can they do it with European football? But I feel like with the signings they've made, they've managed to keep, obviously, Morgan Gibbs-White as well. Yeah, I think they're due to go places of kind of making that eighth to sixth to eighth play finish.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, with Brentford, it is a bit worrying. You lose your manager, you've lost your captain.
Yeah.
You've potentially losing Wissa.
Another bold brother.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Along with Mbuemo.
Yeah.
But I will say, Django Otura.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's going to surprise people.
Yeah.
He's gonna
surprise
I feel like he's a
people.
very good player. I really like him. Very, very, very good player on the ball movement. The way he strikes.
That hat-trick
Leaves
he
a lot to
scored
be-
last
pardon?
season. That hat trick.
Yeah, he scored a fantastic hat trick.
Yeah.
But
Really good finishes.
I feel like getting into a bit more consistency. He had a large stretch in the team last year when Evan was injured, albeit up top. I don't know where his main position is. I think it's off the right, but he played up top for a large period after that. After he scored that hat trick, and he didn't really get the goals, the numbers that he needed to. There, I feel like, but I do think he is very raw. He's got that talent, and he could be a good signing. He could be a good signing for Brentford, but the fee.
What was it?
It surprised me. I think it was about 37 million.
Yeah, it's quite a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I thought that's where that potential is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
But anyways, moving on to our final review of the weekend. I hope you guys enjoyed the segment. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Do all of that good stuff. I feel like the channel will be here for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you're listening on audio, 5 stars. Socials, Spotify and Apple, I meant to say. Spotify and Apple, 5 stars. Slap it there. But yeah, going into our last game. Manchester United 0, Arsenal 1. Gunners managed to snatch bragging rights in this feudal match, which I'll say is very, very much contested, very heatedly on social media, we should say. Everybody always talks about this game in the season. I feel like it's brilliant for the teams that aren't involved in it because it's fun. There's always some great content coming out of it. But Temi, we'll hand over to you, obviously, as our resident Arsenal gooner.
Yes. Arsenal 1, Manchester United 0.
Yeah.
Wasn't the greatest of games, I can't lie.
No.
I felt like it was a very cagey affair, especially within that first half, maybe first 20 minutes, the ball was just bouncing left to right. Yeah. No one really kind of...
There was no rhythm to the game.
Do you know what I mean? No rhythm. No one could get on the
very
ball.
Very open. I feel like the midfield kind of contributed to that, though. United's midfield specifically. But I felt like there was so much space in those middle areas, and you needed a bit more control over the game in that first half, especially. It was all over the gaff, which I felt like, players like Zubimendi were brought in to kind of bring that control. What did you think of him in general in that game? I thought he was little bit anonymous in terms of getting on the ball and making things tick.
As the resident Arsenal fan, let me interject, please. Zubi, I feel like the whole context of the game, it's first game of the season, it's a sunny day out, it's very shiny. There's it's Old Trafford. There's always gonna be a bit of nerves. You know, you still got Fergie Tax that's still playing nowadays as well.
Jeez, man, so, crazy. Wait. We're not passing that. What do you mean Fergie Tax? The guy's been dead for 12 years. You talking about Fergie Tax? He's not here.
If you know, you know. Open your eyes.
You can still get these players.
Open your eyes.
You man are absolutely insane. This is absolutely incredible.
Man United generational.
Incredible. You think so?
100%,
bro.
100%.
Ferguson.
Bro, look at where they were last season.
Look at last season.
Imagine a 15th place team having the summer window United had.
Do you know what I mean?
That's not even...
Sesko, Mbuemo and Cunha in one
I thought that's natural, the heritage.
Potentially.
Come on, man.
Should we even say it? Potentially.
But that's not just from Fergie though, isn't it? Man United are a massive club. They've been a massive club for...
Yeah, but he took them to a different level.
He took them to the next stratosphere, 100%. But regardless of... whatever, innit? I don't even know what we're talking about here. But fucking, this guy always manages to switch it up onto something else.
Listen, anyway, Arsenal. Let me wrap it up. So, very cagey game. Wasn't our best performance, I will say. But I feel like, knowing the context of the game, first game of the season, Old Trafford, naturally United have got that momentum. It's a fresh season. They've forgotten all of like the terrible things that happened last season. They've brought in brand new signings and Mbuemo, Cunha. You got Sesko in there.
Yeah,
I feel like
got the dopamine hit.
Do you know what I mean? I feel like naturally the momentum was always going to be on their side, and it was going to be a very tough battle for us. But we stuck it out, and I feel like that's the signs of a champion. You go away to one of your top 4, top 5, top 6 rivals. I know they're.
I will say this though: Arsenal have been showing signs of a champion for about 4 years now.
Anyway,
nothing's fucking happened.
anyway.
No, let's be honest though. Let's talk about it.
Anyway,
Suddenly it's signs of a champions with you lot. But at the same time, you started off with this whole thing of Arsenal play a beautiful football. And it's not that. It's not been that the last couple of seasons. Let's be honest.
I'm just going off of what the status quo is when Jose Mourinho, when the pundits used to gas him up, they used to say he could go to any ground, get a 1-0 win without 100%. Playing well.
Yeah.
And then come the end of the season. So all I'm saying is
exactly because come the end of the season, there was a trophy on the table.
But the end of the season hasn't come yet. The end of the season hasn't come yet. So all we can say is it's game week 1. We went to our rival. We've taken 3 points. Didn't play well. Got a set piece. But certain games you get in, you get out.
Listen,
we got in, and we got out with 3 points.
I totally agree. So, I think it's a professional performance. I feel like you guys definitely got the 3 points, albeit whatever the circumstances were. I agree with that. I am a Chelsea fan, mate. Yeah, we get points wherever the way, and we move on from the game. But my whole thing is, I don't know, in terms of if you're playing against teams that are going to be sitting in a bit more. United came and took the game to you. I feel like if you're playing against teams that sit in a bit more, it might be a bit tougher for you guys to implement what you guys want to be doing.
I would say on that, you say they took the game to us, but I feel like majority of their shots came from outside the box. I would say, this is my opinion, at no point did I ever really feel that we were under threat.
You know?
And that's...
I feel like there was a period where United
don't feel like at any
point you took a bit of a wild shot, but it was close. It hit the post.
Other than that, all the shots were from outside the box.
Attempt where Thing had the remarkable save.
I'm telling you personally,
Ryan,
even from last season, just knowing how
Ryan made 7 saves in this game, by the way.
He did
7 saves.
He did, and he got man of the match. I will say that, but I just know that over the last few seasons, we've always had a very astute defensive record. Wherever we go, Raya's won back-to-back clean sheets. So naturally, into every game you go, I know if we don't attack well, our backline is keeping us in the game.
And you'll score a set piece.
So, and what do we do? Got the 3 points on to the next.
It's become a classic Arteta performance in some ways.
Yeah.
But I do feel like with Arteta, and where I want to build on what Abdul said earlier with, let's be honest, it's, both of you mentioned it. You will have tough games. I think if Arsenal had this fixture 15 games into the season, a lot more Arsenal fans would be optimistic about what this result means. I think seeing it first game of the season, am I right in saying some Arsenal fans felt underwhelmed? They're like, I think if I'm being honest, I feel like some fans, especially neutral and rival fans, we did not rate the style of football that highly.
No.
And you see a lot of it, those of us that kept tabs on Arsenal pre-season, I've seen quite a bit of the same football. This game here is exactly being
They've managed to get the result, but what happens when it doesn't come? But anyways, spoken, I feel like, at great length, and I think
Biggest
about
game
time.
of the weekend, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely the biggest game of the weekend, 100%. But yeah, fantastic first week of football. I'm excited for what next week has in store, and there is one game left. Temi didn't want to speak about it at all, but Leeds Everton, which is happening as we speak. It is 0-0
at this point.
but I am slowly but surely thinking that, you know what I mean, this Premier League season is going to be one to remember, one for the history books, to be honest. And one thing that makes me feel that way, especially personally, is FPL. How about we get into a bit of FPL with our new segment, the FPL corner?
Go on then.
Actually, this is a great time to mention our FPL league.
Yeah.
Should we open that up?
Yeah, definitely.
So right
Open
now,
it up for sure.
Right now on the screen, our league is going to be right there with the code.
Yeah.
Join. I think
We'll put that in the description as well.
Put in the description as well. I think Abdul said he's willing to pay a prize pot of 500 quid out of his own pocket. So round of applause for Abdul. Yes.
Well done.
So, if you join.
I'll let you know my pocket is attached to Temi's wallet. So that is where the funds will be coming from.
I ain't got no damn why.
So, yeah, exactly. But yeah, fantasy Premier League. I feel like okay, cool. So who are we gonna start with? We'll start with myself.
Start with the guy leading the league. I
Yeah,
don't know.
we'll start-
Should we go bottom up?
with
Should we go
myself.
bottom up so they know not to follow any of my picks?
Clear. Everyone's got
Yeah,
what
go
to say
on.
then.
Go on.
Cool.
I like it.
So
Go on, Temi, why not?
I'm not going to read out my whole team.
Temi's team's gonna be right here up on screen. Will's gonna be doing the editing.
screenshot.
It's gonna be right here on screen.
There'll be a screenshot kind of showing my team. I'll just give you a few little snippets. The ones where I thought there might be
What
a
was the
dark
highlight?
horse.
Yeah, exactly.
But
What?
they weren't. So
Take
I would
us
say
through.
avoid all the Chelsea players. That's my first tip.
Yeah.
I captained Cole Palmer thinking first game of the season.
Nobody told you to do that, by the way.
He's gonna be on my screen.
Listen, I didn't
All of this.
even captain Cole Palmer. Nobody told you to do that, by the way, which shows how highly you rate Chelsea, which means
okay.
you shouldn't get rid of them, to be honest.
Okay.
But go
I
on.
also had João Pedro in there as well.
Yeah.
For one of those like bottom feeders, those like relegation team strikers that you think you get you points. I had Broyer in there.
You love this.
Another howler.
man.
Another howler. And then I think my team was just kind of basic. Obviously, I had Saka, Gabriel,
Yeah.
Gyökeres. I think naturally, Arsenal fan, I'm always gonna have three players in there.
Yeah.
And then I had Salah to complement. So,
Gabriel done you decent.
do you know what I mean? Gabriel done me decent. I thought there's older reliables that you can go on, and that's
True.
what I try to do.
But 1 point from Gyökeres, if I'm correct.
1 point, but it's a battle,
incredible.
not a wall, or it's a wall, not a battle. Anyway.
Yeah, a marathon, not
It's
a
a
sprint, I
marathon,
think
not
is
a
what you was
sprint.
looking
Do you
for
know what I mean?
there.
Yeah, like tomato, potato.
Yeah.
Tomato,
So what would you
potato.
say? Who surprised you the most in your team in terms of this week? Getting you maybe someone who got you points that you didn't think would get you points?
I would say Gehi. So he was
Yeah.
on a bench for me.
Yeah.
And he's gonna slot in after tonight's fixtures, get me a nice 6 points.
Yep.
So he done his thing.
Very good, actually. Palace defense. I feel like it's something that you definitely need to invest in. Having seen them play against us, we couldn't do shit.
I gotta say, each one of their defenders, real
Yeah.
good talents.
Yeah, Lacroix for me would be the pick of the bunch because he does get a lot more defensive contributions.
He's the most important of them.
Yeah,
It's crazy because obviously Gehi's the captain, but outside of that,
Yeah,
I agree.
Gay,
with you
I feel like it's a bit more of the ball player,
Yeah.
a bit more of the like on the ball kind of thing. But
But yeah, that's my FBL. Do you want me to talk about some potential new signings, what I'm gonna replace next week?
we could get into that in a second. I feel like
Okay.
we need to talk about something a bit pressing, and I need to apologize to you, Tony, firstly.
Yeah.
Because we were discussing teams before the season started, and Temi put his team in the chat, and he had Luka Dean in his team. And I gave him some advice based on what I'd seen from Aston Villa in pre-season. I'm trying to be a good friend, trying to help him out, trying to say, look, listen, Luka Dean has been a fantastic servant for Aston Villa over the last couple of years. He's a brilliant player for Everton as well when he was in the Everton in the Premier League. Top left back. I really like him, and he's done me good in my fantasy teams. But I said, listen, this season, I feel like he might not get the time that you think he's gonna get. And it turned out he did get the time that he thought he was going to get.
Can I say?
And he got a clean sheet as well.
Are your boys really your boys?
So I apologise
Are
for telling
your
you to go for
boys
Martin.
really your boys?
I apologise for telling you to go for
game out,
Martin.
yeah.
That is one thing. But you do not have to take my advice. This is not financial advice.
Yes, and I do understand that, but I feel like naturally, you just want to go. You take different opinions, and you think,
Yeah.
you know what, knowledgeable guy.
Listen.
You finish high up there a few times, but personally, I think you just try to sabotage it. I hear it, but we move. Do you know what I mean?
Out there for thinking. But
I'm
listen,
saying.
cool. So what were you thinking then? You said you wanted to get rid of the Chelsea lot. Who do you think you're going to get in instead?
So I'm thinking, and I think we highlighted it in the review of the first game week, potentially getting a few of the City boys in there somehow, potentially Haaland, Reinders, and also the Nottingham Forest boys. I feel like those going to be sleepers.
Wooden,
Woods,
Anderson, maybe Milenkovic in
do you know what I
there.
mean?
Yeah,
And Doy as well. I think he's going to be another one.
Yeah.
So I don't want to give away all my secrets, but
Cool. As you can see his team up on the screen. So that's that for Temi's then.
Indeed.
Will, talk us through your team. Who got you some points this week? I know you've got some tasty ones.
Yes.
Your team's up on the screen right now. Take us through it, mate.
Honestly, I gotta say, I won't lie and say, I couldn't be happier. I could have been happier. I think I had a really strong Saturday.
Yeah.
I think I was getting close to 45 points.
Yeah.
By the end of Saturday. I've got Pickford in my team now. Let's see if he keeps a clean sheet. Could get myself quite close to 60 points if that happens.
Yeah.
Hopefully he does something big, gets bonus points.
I think they're currently on the clean sheet, to be fair, so you're good.
I'd be
there,
happy.
mate.
I'd be very happy with that week. But on the current basis, I'm looking at imagine I actually had up about a week ago I had Isak and Wissa in my team. Strikers on strike. You know what I mean?
I like that one.
Strikers
on strike. Hey.
Broski,
This guy's a poet.
you know what that's like, bro? That's like, fam. That's like buying 2 condoms, thinking you're gonna beat twice in the night and going there and get nothing. Bro was there thinking I gotta go twice. Went there and got zilch. You get me, bro? That is peak.
That's a crazy analogy.
It's a brilliant analogy, though, isn't it? You think
Take your time. You're gonna get some. You're gonna get some.
Hey, where Ralph Come on, bro.
Listen, mate.
Hey.
Listen, yeah.
Only him as well.
You missed the 2 shots, innit? You missed the shots you don't take.
Oh my god.
But listen, at the end of the day, you didn't go with those 2. So who did you go with as your strike force to the end?
So honestly, if I told you it was a tale of 2 halves. I brought in Hugo Ekitike and Gyökeres.
Wow.
And Gyökeres, initially why I didn't put him in my team was I didn't expect him to hit the ground running.
Yeah.
And I'm so annoyed that I didn't just stick with my gut on that. But I was looking at the rest of the striker options, and this is something I have to say. For a couple of seasons now, FPL is always it's a mission to pick 3 good strikers.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a mission.
Well, there's a multitude to choose from. That's the thing. I feel like there's a lot of strikers to choose
I'll
from.
just say the standard. I feel like there's like a top class of like maybe a good solid 6 strikers. After that, the rest of it is just cheeks. Like,
I'm not even sure.
It's
I'm not even sure it's that, to be honest.
It's the lottery.
Yeah.
You're just trying to guess.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
What other players in your team do you feel like really dragged you this week that you didn't expect?
Yeah, this one's the one I really wanted to talk about. I got to shout out Hugo Ekitike because he got 11 points from me.
That's brilliant.
And I think he's one that a lot. Let's be honest, if you're not a Liverpool fan,
You're not gonna
pick him. You know, but 2 guys who I was getting a lot of slander. I was getting a lot of stick from people about doubling up on Tottenham. Initially, I tripled up even, but then I took Vuskovic out because I'm hearing rumours he might leave on loan. So I kept Van de Ven, I kept Pedro Porro because I was like, Burnley at home. That's why I wasn't too surprised about Spurs' performance.
To be fair, Burnley had a couple chances, which I feel like on another day, another team could have exploited. But with the fixture, I was again someone who was a big fan of the double Tottenham. I didn't go for it in the end, but I was a big fan of it. But yeah,
saying that, there's only 1 week in FPL where the Tottenham defense does well. After that, I'm pretty sure their track record is they concede every game of the season. So
anybody was turning up.
Proceed with care.
No,
proceed with care, please.
But Spurs do have good defenders, and they've been playing different systems in the
Thomas Frank's system was good.
3 at the back when they play the 3 at the back, especially against PSG and the.
If you call 17th good nowadays,
No.
I think he can get the best out.
No. I'm not talking about last season. I'm talking about how they've looked in pre-season and coming into this season. with their new coach. They've got a fantastic new coach. You got to say, but.
Are we
We're
giving
talking
them a
about
bit of
FPL.
tax?
We're talking about FPL for now.
It's related to the game. How many points they're gonna get? I'm telling you, they're not gonna.
You're letting the hatred of Tottenham see through, bro.
No. I keep it objective.
They had some good picks in the first week, and they've come good.
Can I say someone we've not talked about?
Yeah.
Ryan Cherky. That was my outside pick, and I got him in my team.
Very, very, very lucky to get the points there, to be honest, because he come off the bench, but he has looked really good. I don't know why he started on the bench.
Do you know something? I rate him so highly already that it's like when he wasn't starting, I just had a feeling. I promise when he scored, I had a little bit of relief, but more a bit of, you're definitely, even if you don't start next week, you're staying in my team. There's something Cherky. He knows where the goal is. He knows how to make a chance.
Yeah.
Or score it. And him and Wirtz, these guys are going to get me points. Even Cunha. I think Cunha's going to have a really good season for United. So
yeah, that's a very strange one to be fair. A lot of people have been wary, I'd say, to pick Cunha because he's not playing for a team where he's going to be taking penalties, where he had last season, obviously. He's not playing for a team maybe that are at the top of their game in terms of the way that they play. But looking at that performance on the weekend, he does look a very good pick, and I feel like he will score quite a lot of goals for Manchester United.
I think that might benefit United. And anyone that picks United players playing one game a week.
No, definitely.
Because
that
Cunha,
is massive.
in my opinion, he's going to keep starting. Because what he offers, there's no one else in the team really that can.
100%. Speaking of your team now, can you give me some transfers you're thinking of making? What's your strategy? Are you going to roll or?
Oh, yeah, I'm rolling. I'm someone that I like to stockpile free transfers.
Yeah.
And
get more information. Information is vital.
Like, we get free transfers.
Yeah. No.
Like,
you get up to 5. You can pick up to 5. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You could take up to 5 from last season. So you can bank 5, and then you've got almost like a mini wild card for all of you guys who are watching, who are just going crazy with transfers first week. I understand it. I feel it.
Especially if you put all them Chelsea guys. But anyway.
Yeah. Listen, I've got triple Chelsea, and I've managed to get a decent score, a league topping score of 61 points
from the City players. I hear
it. Listen. I captain Haaland. I did captain Haaland because I thought that he always starts the season well. And City have got quality. And I had Reinders in my team because I watched their Club World Cup game. Yeah. And he was absolutely fantastic in that. Against Al Hilal, was it? I think. And even their games before that just impressed me so much. And I was looking at it and I thought he'd be coming in at like 6, 5, 7 million. When I saw him at 5.5, I think it was a bit of a no-brainer taking the risk on that one. I'm a big gambler. I like to take risks. I don't actually gamble, but I like to take risks in my FPL team. And I feel like that one definitely worked out. A few other guys who got me some returns. Pedro Porro, same thing in there. Obviously, I wanted to get a couple more Tottenham. I was going to go for Vicario. But again, you can't be too sure about Tottenham guys. I've got Alisson in goal who didn't really do me too much better.
Picking any Liverpool defensive players is a myth for me.
Yeah. Speaking of the Liverpool defensive players, the funniest thing that I saw from this weekend's FPL, I was sat there laughing. Yeah, honestly, 59 minutes, Frimpong and Kirkes coming off on a clean sheet before they can get their clean sheet points. 30 seconds before they can get it. I was literally shouting at the screen like, fucking get off the pitch, quickly get them off the pitch. I was like, please get them off and they come off. I was so excited. But that's brilliant. That's what FPL's about, to be fair, trying to get those little...
I feel like Pep does that so often.
Pep does that so often as well, to be honest.
Gets me fuming.
I was fuming. He took off Haaland, who was on a hat-trick. But yeah, I've got Saka in my team as well. Left a lot to be desired. I thought he'd be getting a lot more involved in the game. But again, Arsenal didn't have the control that they wanted in that match, which is a one-off. Leeds at home. Next, I feel like he's gonna be big. And I've got quite a differential in my team in terms of Reece James, who was man of the match for us, apart from maybe Josh Acheampong.
Reece James, he played?
Yeah, he played 80 minutes. Yeah. Fantastic. He created the most chances from many defenders in game week 1. Three chances created. Look at that stats for you lot.
Is he gonna come back game week 38? Oh, sorry.
Fair enough, man. Listen, he's keeping fit. Listen, I'm used to these jokes, innit? It's happened for 3 years in a row. He's keeping fit for now. He's played quite a lot of games last season. Hopefully, he can stay fit for longer. And then, and I feel like I'll have quite a good. Look at these lot.
Just speak though. I rate Reece James though, but it's just you
guys are taking the piss.
Anyways,
he got a clean sheet. He was on for 2 bonuses before he came off as well, on a yellow card, which is incredible. That shows the level that he was playing at in that game. The guy's fantastic. He will be a goal threat. Hopefully he stays fit. And that's all I can talk about, really, man. FPL, decent start. Next week, I'm probably going to be rolling my transfers. I'll say that with a burning hole in my chest because I picked Florian Wirtz when I really didn't want to pick him. I can't lie. I wanted Bruno, but I couldn't find the 0.5 extra. Didn't really want Florian Wirtz. And that game when he fucking blanked, I keep swearing, by the way, when he blanked, jeez, bro, I was like, what have I done here? I've absolutely flopped it. But now that I've slept on it, I don't think it's that much of a big deal. I'll probably give it another week or two and then make a decision based on other things that are happening. But I'll probably roll my transfers until a week where I can make a few decent moves.
I'm going to do a big hot take. I think Florian Wirtz for 8.5 million. What he can do if he reaches his potential, his price is going to skyrocket. For me, I'm not going to fall for the... I'm not going to fall for that performance. I know he did struggle. Yeah. I'm not going to over-exaggerate. He struggled to adapt to it. Even Frimpong, I felt a couple of the guys struggled to adapt to it, the new signings. Hugo Ekitike was like the one who I felt like was really up for it of these new signings. But Wirtz, honestly, he's going to link up. He's going to get so much DNA, honestly.
Yeah.
So, and for me, another thing I like to say, I like to pick my team based on a free game basis. So 100%. I'm rolling my free transfer because I think I picked this team knowing I'm sticking with this team for game week 2.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Game week 3 is when I start thinking, but...
Yeah. That's the way you guys should play, to be honest, because I was a bit of an aggressive FPL manager last season and it bit me in the arse in a few times where I'd move from a player and then the next week they'd get a couple returns. So having patience is important, but also have fun with it, I'd say. Enjoy the time you're having with the game, but don't get too bogged down in it. Anybody else got anything to add with FPL before we wrap, or are you guys feeling quite calm about it, or should we get to looking for the next quick one before we wrap? Actually, who are your big captaincy picks for next week, going into next week? Obviously, looking at the fixtures, we're going to preview the fixtures, but I can get the fixtures here for you guys as well. The fixtures for next week, obviously Friday night, we've got West Ham, Chelsea.
Okay.
Starting with that one, I feel like, you know what? I feel like that's going to be a quite a simple game. Looking at it from the outside, it looks like quite a simple game if Chelsea can get their act together. I don't see why not, especially Friday night away from home at the London Stadium. They've not been good there of late, so I fancy Chelsea's chances for sure. Cole Palmer could be a captaincy shout. What do you think?
You won there last season, like what, 4-1? 3-1?
Yeah.
That was Jackson and a few others. I got a few goals.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I would probably go for more of a banker. Yeah. So any of the top 5, 6 teams playing at home.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit iffy.
So who have you got your eye on?
I would say, obviously, no bias, but I'm looking at the Arsenal
Leeds at home,
game.
yeah.
I've got obviously Saka, Gyökeres. I might go for outside shout.
Gabriel, brace. I feel like defenders are definitely viable in this new way of playing with Defcon, with a clean sheet. And if he gets a goal, we saw Ballard get a massive 17-pointer the other day for getting a goal. That was it. Obviously, they got a clean sheet and he got defensive contributions as well. Yeah. But you can see defenders get massive hauls with just one goal. So I wouldn't turn my nose up at a Gabriel captaincy.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, it's a bold pick.
So Arsenal, City, again, I feel like City is a decent one. Spurs at home. Haaland should be a decent.
Yeah.
I feel like Spurs are not going to keep a clean sheet against them lot. And Haaland tends to score against Spurs. Yeah. At the Etihad. And Salah is another option, Newcastle away. Bit of a tougher one.
I don't know. Feisty atmosphere.
Bit of a tougher one. So I don't know. You're thinking Arsenal. You're thinking.
I'm thinking
Salah,
Liverpool because I've tripled up on Liverpool players, and I'll be honest with you.
Cheeky Vets captains.
I captained Salah and I vice captained Ekitike. Had I done the reverse, I could have been in the money this game week. So let me be honest. Mo Salah for me. Every time I take the captaincy off him, if I had a penny for the amount of times he's made me regret it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I don't have him at all in my team, so I was watching that game on Friday. Mate, that game was an hour and a half. It felt like 6 hours watching that, trying to make sure Salah score. You know what I mean? And then he comes up in the 95th minute with his absolute dreadful technique and manages to scuff the ball into the back of the net somehow.
Hey, if it works, man.
Listen, the guy's a magician of treachery and deceit. I can tell you that much for free, bruv. But that's it for FPL, and we're gonna look ahead to the next game week. Friday night, Chelsea, West Ham. What do you guys think? We'll do quick fire for this last segment. Quick predictions. We'll do predictions for the next game.
Yeah, quick predictions. Keeping it brief. I see it as probably potentially a cagey affair. Yeah. So I'll probably say maybe 1-0 draw. If not, I see Chelsea just edging it.
Yeah, nice. Will?
I see Chelsea doing decently. That's why I think this Chelsea team is better than I gave it credit for such a long time that I'm trying to mature and just be like, admit, you know what, Chelsea, I don't think they've arrived. I don't expect them to be in the tower race.
No,
they should be winning.
Not yet.
I expect them to win games that they should win. So for me, I'm going for at least 1-0.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going to say 3-0 Chelsea. Cole Palmer with 2. I think João Pedro gets his debut Premier League goal. Saturday, 12:30, Manchester City at home to Tottenham Hotspur. A tasty fixture. We know that City do lose to Tottenham quite a lot, to be honest. Tottenham seem to be their bogey team. So what do you guys think of that fixture? I feel like City could struggle. I could see a Tottenham win, but with the way that City have started and the team in general, the look of the team with Bob back in, what's that guy's name? Rodri. Flippant. What's that guy's name? Ballon d'Or winner. Rodri back at the base. Hopefully next game for them. I think City could do Spurs really badly here, but I'm going to go for a simple 2-1 to City.
2-1.
They could be tight.
I'm going to go based off of the recent games, which has either been Spurs winning or like a draw. I do see Thomas Frank, decent manager, knows how to set his team up. I will say I don't look forward to the North London derbies because I know particularly he's going to set up very well.
Yeah.
Very good defensive coach. So on that basis, I'm going to say 1-0 draw.
Wow. Fair enough.
Honestly, I like that shout, but I'm going to go different to you guys. I think this fixture for Tottenham, let's not skew the perspective. Man City at home is not a team that teams go up to and they dog walk them, particularly in the league.
No.
They don't use a lot.
No.
If we're saying last season is some type of anomaly, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So Man City at home, you have to make them the favourites. But for some reason, I'm not following that logic. I think Spurs are going to win 1-0.
I hear it.
I'm doubling up on Spurs defenders. I'm not benching either one of them.
Wow, big statement.
Yeah,
big statement. I can see a Pedro Porro go against his former team. He does like that. But 3 o'clock fixtures, Bournemouth, Wolves. I'm going to go simple. Bournemouth, I think they're going to have a bit too much for Wolves here. I think it'll be 2-0. 2-0 Bournemouth.
Doubling up on that.
Yeah. What about you, Will?
I don't know why. I think this Bournemouth at home though, they're so good. So
yeah, man, they look so good against you guys as well, man.
Honestly, yeah. I could easily see that being 2-0, 3-0 as well.
Easy. Brentford, Villa. This is going to be a tough one for Brentford. I feel like Villa are raring. They didn't show a lot the last game. They've got a lot more to show to them. Ollie Watkins is a top player, and I feel like Morgan Rogers is as well. And once they get clicking, they'll probably put a couple past this Brentford team. I think. 3-1 Villa.
I think Brentford will get a goal out somewhere. Well, it won't be enough, so I'm going 2-1 to Aston Villa.
I'm going to go 1-0. 1-0 Villa.
Fair enough. And this is the promotion or relegation battle. I don't know what you guys want to say. But Burnley against Sunderland. Wow.
Ooh, 6-pointer.
Burnley at home. Yeah. Big 6-pointer. I feel like Sunderland, I love Sunderland, man. Sunderland till I die. If you've not watched the documentary, watch it. You guys, they're not giving me any money for promo, but it's a fantastic documentary, an emotional documentary.
Man that likes to chant champions of the
former
world.
Toon resident as well.
Yeah. Listen, I'm a massive fan of the Northeast in general. Let's say that I've got a home in the Toon, and I'm a massive admirer of the Weir side as well. But I feel like Sunderland could have the upper hand against Burnley here. I feel like Sunderland might edge it 1-0. 1-0 Sunderland. Burnley are at home. I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to go for 2-2 draw. Score draw. Desmond 2-2. I'm changing my fucking prediction.
I'm going to go 2-0 Sunderland.
You know what? I think the way Sunderland performed in that second half.
Yeah, it's convincing, wasn't it?
Honestly, that psychological boost, like you can't underestimate it in professional football or professional sports in general. So
No, I agree.
For me, Burnley get battered 3-0. Sunderland completely surprised the Premier League win against West Ham 3-0.
Yeah,
I can't bet against them. I see Sunderland winning. Not winning 3-0 again. 1-0.
Okay, first.
1-0.
And the last Saturday game, Arsenal against Leeds. Easy blow over, push over. I think it's going to be 3-4 Arsenal. Should be 3-4 Arsenal.
I'm going to go 3-0 Arsenal. First game at home. Crowd's going to be buzzing.
Yeah.
Sun will probably be shining in that famous red and white.
Mamadou debut?
Who?
Mamadou?
Mamadou. No, I reckon you'll come off the bench. I think Arteta's going to try to go for that same front three to get the reps in, get the familiarity in. So 3-0 1. Gyökeres brace. Gyökeres brace, Saka goal.
The gun jam last week. You think Gyökeres brace?
Glock 9. Tune in. Yeah?
Okay.
I called it here first.
5,
Tune in. Tune in.
We'll see. Hey, I saw people saying actually the celebration isn't this normal. They've gone from this to... What's happening?
Talk soon, innit?
Yeah.
You see next week's opener, this is going to be me on the intro, like this.
We'll see.
I'm never going to say a word.
We'll see. Hopefully
for you.
Hopefully for you, because next week's it's gonna be smoke off the bat. This one was a nice little warm up, get everyone acquainted with us acquainted with everyone. IG, the cameras. But what do you think with the last game?
I'll be honest. Arsenal versus Leeds. One thing I'll say about Arsenal is the games, even though they didn't show it consistently in the second half of last season, but the games that they're expected to win, they blow teams over. If they can do what they did a couple of seasons ago. But at home, they faltered a bit when it was going deep in the Champions League. They was letting some points drop. But early in the season, one game a week for now, they're winning that game. 5-0. Gyökeres hat-trick. Wow. I'm going to be eating next week on FPL. Because let me tell you,
you're just wishing it so that Gyökeres can...
Gyökeres gets most of his goals against bottom half of the table caliber clubs.
Yeah.
He was killing teams
bottom
last
half
season.
Of the table in Portugal, which is basically island teams.
But teams where Arsenal are going to dominate the ball and create chances.
But these are men that are working in recycling factories on the weekend, mate. These are guys who are part-time footballers that
Portugal's a
paying,
top 7 league in the world.
Top 7. We're stretching now, innit, bro? We used to be top 5 and we're going top 7. The bottom of the Portuguese league is not levels for Leeds.
Better than the Dutch
and we will see.
And look at some of the players that come out the Dutch league.
We'll see. We'll see. Sunday games, we've got Crystal Palace at home to Nottingham Forest. That's a good, decent game. I feel like if anything spells a 0-0 though, again, I don't see a goal here. But with two big strikers, I am going to go with Crystal Palace at home. I think Crystal Palace edge this one.
Okay.
I think 3-2 to Palace.
3-2. That would be a good game. I'm going to go for Desmond. I feel like Forest are naturally the stronger team, but I think Palace always have this momentum. Yeah.
Selhurst Park's been bubbling.
First game, especially the whole thing about not being able to qualify for the Europa League. They're probably going to play with a bit of a chip on their shoulder. So I reckon, seeing a 2-2 draw. I know Forest with their new signings as well probably have some weight to pull in that game, but 2-2. Desmond.
Nice.
So, I'll be honest with Nottingham Forest. They've just impressed me so much. But Crystal Palace as well. Community Shield performance. The way that they finished last season.
This is what I was going to say, man.
I feel like Glasnow's really built a team that deserves a lot of respect.
Definitely.
But the problem here is, I think come this game next week, and it might be a hot take, I don't think Eze and Gehi are both there.
Yeah.
One of them is gone by next week, I think.
And we drew to them, which a lot of people give us a bit of stick for, but we played against this Palace super team with their two best players, which a lot of people will probably not have to do for the rest of the season.
Billion pound squad.
Moving on.
It's on camera,
the game's going.
I'm glad it's on camera.
Swiftly, did you finish your prediction, by the way? You said...
well, I'm actually going to go for a score draw, 1-1.
Yeah, 1-1. Okay, sweet. Next game, Everton against Brighton. Not one to spend too much time on. Mid-pack. I think Everton versus Brighton. I think Brighton are going to take this one. I think Brighton 2-1.
Honestly, every time Brighton go on a run of not impressing me, they just pull a bag. They pull something out the bag.
Yeah,
they do. They've done that under the Zerbi, and then they've done it under their current manager from the past season.
Yeah.
2-0 Brighton.
They're just a machine.
It'll be 2-0 Brighton.
Yeah, I like David Moyes as well, but I feel like Everton, they're throwing things together in a bit of a mismatched way. Grealish, Dewsbury Hall, good players. Where are they going to play? Can they give you that impact that you need? Can they give you those numbers that you desperately need? I feel like Everton, again, probably this season, looking to stay up in it.
Yeah.
If we're being honest, they're probably looking to stay up. It's gonna be a tough task, but I feel like they'll probably end up doing it in the end. But yeah, I don't see no one in this game.
I'm gonna go quite opposite. I think it's gonna be the first game at the new stadium for Everton.
Yeah.
I feel like
what's the name of the new stadium? Do you know?
Not Goodison, but I think it's
Hubert something.
Hubert Road or something like that.
Something
They've
like
named
that.
it, one for one of those old classic names. But yeah, first game at the new stadium. I reckon it'll be a sunny day as well in that famous royal blue that they wear. So I reckon Everton do it. Moisey as well, good coach. I know they kind of picked up a bit of momentum towards the end of last season.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, you've got Jack Grealish playing for like a mid-table club. You know, this is going to be him at his peak.
Yeah.
He's going to have the license to roam. Pep's not going to be forcing him to pass back. Not
He's a
allowing him to take his
disciplined
man on.
position.
Well, it's called the Hill Dickinson Stadium, by the way. Because
Because I knew it was the name that was getting memed. That's why I was like, when you guys
that
were
is
saying,
bad.
what?
Yeah, that is terrible. Hill Dickinson Stadium.
But I do prefer that. I know, quick side note, but all of these changing stadium names after sponsors, you've got like the Bitcoin Arena.
Yeah, I don't like
I'm
that.
not a fan.
Game's gone.
Yeah, get rid of
You know what?
it. Get rid of
touch
it.
on that. Never
That
been
can be
fan.
something you pull out your Shin Pad.
Shin Pad,
maybe.
at least
Yeah,
you're gonna
that's
say
our
that.
segment. Our segment that we will be getting into at some point every week, which will be what is in your Shin Pad. Every week we'll be able to pull things out, different discussions we might have, different takes, hot takes, things we don't like, things we like, things we want to see more of, that we'll be pulling out of our Shin Pad. Do you know what I mean? Keeping it under trying to hide it from the referees, you know what I'm saying? But this week I wanted to bring a balloon to pull out the Shin Pad like Nkunku does to fortify the fact that I want him out of the club. But that is the idea. That's our thing. What's in your Shin Pad? We'll be doing that starting from next week, hopefully. But Temi's done obviously his first one today. What's in the Shin Pad? But yeah, Everton, Brighton, that one's done. What's the next game? Fulham against Manchester United. I feel like Manchester United did very well against. I feel Man United did very well against Arsenal. Against Fulham away, it's not an easy game at all.
It's not.
No.
At all, Craven Cottage. But Manchester United have got quality now, and I can see, albeit it was from one game, I can see a lot for their fans to be excited about. The midfield lacked heavily, but Casemiro didn't perform bad against Arsenal, I don't think. I feel like obviously he is a ticking time bomb, but for now he's glued together, isn't it? So, do you know what I mean? They'll keep hearing that tick, and then one day that shit will explode, but they can deal with that later, I feel like. But I feel like United might have a bit too much for Fulham here. 2-0.
I actually feel like Fulham. I feel like actually what you got, I'm sorry, I can't let what you said slide.
Really?
How many summers have we said, oh, United have brought in some quality? Just like they've got too much quality, and then the next few we know.
But previously,
as soon as the ship tries to leave the shore, it blows up.
I agree.
Thank you.
But previously, they've not had two guys who just come off of scoring 10 plus Premier League goals that have come into the team.
So they've changed their strategy, which I respect.
Yeah.
Premier League proven now, not trying to get
Cunha
the
and Belmo.
shiniest toy from abroad now. So I get that, it's true. And I do feel like their performance last weekend, they definitely have reason to be optimistic.
For sure, yeah.
But I'll be honest, but for me, what I saw Amarim say, tonight we've shown that we can beat every team in the league.
Yeah.
How about you show that by winning?
Yeah, exactly.
winning,
I agree.
yeah.
I agree with that for sure. And Fulham do look good.
I
like they've made a couple signings. Josh King, I think, is from the academy.
Yeah,
who's
from the
playing
academy.
quite.
Yeah.
Mate, he looks really good. I saw him in that first game. He looks
Highly
fantastic.
I don't think Fulham
Very
are gonna
tight
lose.
pair. 18 years old. I don't know if he'll start the next game. He did get subbed around 75 minutes for my Arsenal player Smith Rowe, who came on and actually won the corner which they scored from. So I don't know if he'll start the next game, but I feel like he was very good. But yeah, 2-0 United for me.
I'm gonna go. It's at Craven Cottage. I don't know. I feel like Fulham can be one of those bogey teams. They can be very tricky, or sometimes they just lay on the floor and you can absolutely just spank them. So
This was meant to be quick fire, by the way.
Yeah,
it's
I
taking
know.
quite some time. It is what it is. We're still learning, so it is what it is.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go for 1-0 draw.
Yeah, that's fair.
2-2 draw.
2-2. Desmond. And for the final game, Monday Night Football, the custody of Alexander Isak match. We've got Newcastle against Liverpool. Guys, this is a big one under the lights at St. James's Park. It's not an easy affair at all, and I feel like they've got the minerals, they've got their tail up, and they've got a big vendetta, V for vendetta against Liverpool at the minute because you guys are trying to take their star, man.
We've been
Alexander Isak.
doing more than
You know
that.
what I'm
I think our new signing in Giovanni Leone, Newcastle wanted him. You know, the reports just came out just after that was confirmed.
Ekitike.
Liverpool. Hugo Ekitike was their number one striker target for sure. They were talking to Frankfurt, and then of course Alexander Isak, which I'm not going to sit here and speculate, but right now Newcastle got more beef with what Alexander Isak is doing than Liverpool. But you know, I mean, the fans will speculate, what's Liverpool's role in Isak's behaviour? But I'll tell you what, right now, if Isak was playing with Liverpool's defence, I think being kind of shaky, I actually think Newcastle could have been favourites to even win.
Wow.
Honestly, hosting the game.
Yeah.
Honestly, but I'll tell you what, Liverpool were 10 men a couple seasons ago with a worse forward line, in my opinion. You know, Darwin Núñez coming off the bench
managed
having
to
a
get
great
it.
game.
Yeah.
I think you get
Different stages in the season, but I definitely think that Newcastle, if they did have Isak, this would be a lot closer, as you say, maybe even edging as favourites because they're at home, and that solidity that they have in that midfield and the robustness of it and the way that they can all interchange and play those positions as comfortably as each other is unbelievable.
Jacob Ramsey coming in.
Yeah.
He's a quality
Jacob
player.
Yeah, I forgot about that. He is good quality, but
He gives them what they lack as well. More goals from midfield.
Yeah. I feel like Gimenez, when he gets going, he can get a few on the bounce. But
sure.
yeah, Tonali again, fantastic in their game. This is a very, very tough one, and I'm seeing every day gets closer to this game. I'm starting to think it's going to be very hard for Liverpool to get points from this, but I think they might just edge it 2-1. 2-1 Liverpool.
I'm with you all the way. 2-1 Liverpool. Wirtz is going to perform.
Fucking hopefully.
Salah.
Wait,
No,
you
this
think
is the
Wirtz?
game where Salah, honestly, Salah in the first half of the season, all these big games, these crunch games, he has a say.
Wirtz is getting mashed, by the way. He's getting shifted. He's
Joe
getting shifted in that
Linton,
midfield.
Tonali, and Kamara.
Yeah, I
They're
cannot wait when
keep
we're...
running, bro. Nah.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. But did the 15-year-old not have Joe Linton in pre-season?
Honestly, but pre-season now.
Yeah.
Honestly, I
people were saying
cannot
Forest
wait
went on shit.
for Wirtz to make people eat their words. This guy is special, and he's gonna have a say.
Okay.
have
Listen,
to say.
I've got him in my team. I hope he does. But that was the last game of the next week.
My prediction. I'm gonna go the opposite. You know, I feel like you guys feel like Liverpool. Obviously, they naturally are the stronger team, but I feel like with the situation going on, I'm expecting Newcastle to come out with some venom. So I reckon, I know they don't have a striker currently, but you've got Elanga, Anthony Gordon, Jacob Ramsey's fit. I reckon Newcastle do it, you know. Liverpool take the L early in the season, and it makes things tasty for the title race.
I want to see it, man.
So I'm going to go 2-1.
Listen, all right.
Okay.
That is the one thing that suits my agenda the most, man. I feel like this season, what I've been saying the whole time is that Liverpool are gonna struggle a lot to embed these players, but I always have this inside of me, this sort of will, this sort of agenda, but things never turn out against these lot. They always manage to do some sort of rubbish, some sort of nonsense, and I'm tired of it. To be honest, I'm tired of betting against Liverpool. Especially last season, I was betting against him a lot. I'm betting against Mo Salah. Yeah, I'll bet against him again this season. But this season, I've got some reasons, some secret reasons I keep to myself. But I've got some reasons that he might not be the same as what he was. But unless anybody's got anything else to add, that's the last game that we was going to preview of next week. We would very much appreciate it. Again, if you like, comment, subscribe. If you're listening on the audio platforms, rate it 5 stars. Follow us. And we're going to be here every week, whether you like it or not. So make sure that you're on board, and we're happy to have you lot. Thank you. This has been the Shin Pad. These two have been Temi and Will. I've been Abdul. See you guys next week.
Out.